It was almost sunset when Lila stepped into the long path leading to the cherry blossom garden. She didn't know why she chose this place on her first day in Tokyo. Maybe because everyone had told her, if you want to understand Japan, start with that tree. The air was slightly cold, carrying a scent that felt like rain, even though the sky was clear. On both sides of the path, cherry blossom trees stood in a quiet stillness that felt ancient and unbroken. Lila paused for a moment.
Strange. Why does it feel like something is speaking here without a sound?
Then she started walking. With every step, a pink petal fell, but something was off. The petals didn't fall normally. They drifted down too slowly, as if time itself was hesitating. Then, suddenly, the first petal fell right in front of her. But it didn't touch the ground. It paused in midair, then opened. A scene appeared inside it. A young boy stood at an old wooden door, silently crying, while a woman closed the door behind him. Then, it vanished, as if it had never existed. Lila froze.
What was that? Did I imagine it?
She stepped closer to the tree. Another petal fell. This time, a different scene appeared. An old man sat on a wooden bench nearby, looking up at the sky, smiling through tears. Then, it disappeared. Her heart started racing.
They aren't illusions. They are memories. But whose memories?
No one else was there. Just her, the silence, and the cherry blossom trees. She tried to brush it off and keep walking, but then a third petal fell. And this time, the scene made her freeze completely. It was her, a younger version of herself, standing in a place she didn't recognize, holding the hand of someone whose face she couldn't see. Then, she heard a clear voice from within the scene.
You don't have to come back here again, Lila.
She trembled.
That's my name.
She stepped back, but right behind her, she heard the soft sound of a petal touching the ground. She turned quickly. Another petal had fallen. But this time, it didn't wait to open. It was already open. And the scene inside it was clearer than anything before. A little girl crying under the rain. And that girl was her. Then suddenly, a new voice appeared. Not from the memory, but from the place itself.
Every petal here carries something that was forgotten.
Lila gasped. She turned around quickly. No one. The voice came from the trees, from the place itself. She stood in the middle of the path, her heart pounding like it was trying to escape her chest.
Who's there? Who's there?
No answer. But another petal began to fall. Very slowly, the moment she touched it, the entire world disappeared. When Lila touched the petal, there was no explosion or blinding light like in stories. Silence. Complete silence. So deep she couldn't even hear her own heartbeat. Then she felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. She wasn't falling, and she wasn't floating. She was in a state with no name. Suddenly, sounds began to return. First, the wind. Then, distant footsteps. Then, the sound of someone breathing very close to her. She opened her eyes quickly. She was standing in the same path, but not exactly. The cherry blossom trees were the same, but the sky had changed. It was slightly darker, as if time itself had slipped a step backward. And most importantly, she wasn't alone. A man stood near one of the trees. He was tall. Lila stepped back.
Who are you?
He said, calmly.
That's the wrong question.
She frowned.
What do you mean the wrong question? I suddenly ended up here. There are memories appearing, Marys, and I don't understand anything.
His face was unsettlingly calm, like nothing in the world could surprise him.
You're not here to understand quickly.
He sighed.
You're here to remember.
Lila narrowed her eyes.
Remember what? I've never been here before.
He gave a faint smile.
That's what everyone says at first.
Then he gestured to the tree behind him.